Good morning. Happy Tuesday. So I wanted to pop on and I wanted to give you some tips. Things that I'm seeing more recently, right? Spring's here, right? So you see Scott's trucks coming around. You see people when you drive spraying their Roundup weed killers. Some of my clients actually showed me that they started a garden, and the soils that they're using and the fertilizers that you use. And it kind of takes me back to some movies and documentaries that opened my eyes years ago. Now, if you've never heard the name Monsanto, you should, because Monsanto many decades ago started to make GMOs and started to make and makes Roundup and owns Scott's, which is also lawn seed. And so I wanted to just show you, just so you understand how big this thing is and why now, if you know anything about Monsanto, they've been sued a bunch of times, and for cancer and for a lot of different illnesses and disease. So Monsanto, right, they basically started with the GMOs. They're in Scott's lawn. So like I said, when you have somebody come and spray your lawn, you're spraying chemicals that are going into our water, into our air, causing cancer. It's fact. They own Disney. I didn't know this. I only found this out today. In 2004, they took over Disney. Roundup Ready. Now, if you hear that, many times you'll hear food is Roundup Ready, meaning your kids' Cheerios, foods that if you're not paying attention and it doesn't say non-GMO, those foods have Roundup in it. Miracle Grow, right? Very strange, and I think it's like a crazy oxymoron, but Scott's makes, or Miracle Grow makes, organic fertilizer. I'm pretty sure you should stay away from that. And again, Roundup. I drive by now, people are outside and they're getting their land and their flower beds together. But I see people spraying this stuff everywhere. So I wanted to bring that up. And also, what's the difference, right? Organic garden. The idea behind it is this has been done for centuries before GMOs were designed or made in a lab. And so putting certain spices and plants together actually causes insects and issues to not even be a problem. So you don't need as much of, pesticides or sprays. Make sure, if you're doing an organic garden, that your seeds are organic, right? Look to see the USDA organic symbol, non-GMO symbol, because otherwise you're planting science. Plants, already little seedlings or babies that you get in the store many times now, and I love it because they have all the conventional stuff, and it is a little cheaper. But when you grow real food, you're eating what is going to make you healthy, right? And I don't know about the other stuff. So I, for a very long time, have not gone that way and eaten that way. There are organic fertilizers, good ones. I would just stay away from Miracle Grow because, like I said, they're laughing all the way to the banks. And soil. There is organic soil that you can find. I know a lot of people are getting it delivered. It comes in bags. And like I said, looking for non-GMO. How did I learn about GMOs? There was one really cool documentary, and I think it's like 14, 16 years ago. It was called GMO OMG. And he went around at the very beginning, a film documentary director, with his 3 sons, and started asking people, do you know what a GMO is? And people had no idea. And he knocked on the doors of Monsanto, and he was escorted away from any buildings that he went to. He was looking for research, but it was really hard to find it when Monsanto was had their hands in this. It was such an interesting documentary to me with 2 young kids that I realized that I was being duped, and all my food really, it's either going to make you healthy or it's going to make you sick. And so that started my whole eyes opening on non-GMO. Whitewash. This is a story written by a journalist who went and tried to get information again. Monsanto is in the FDA. They are, and they've been there, all presidents in the last bunch of presidents that we've had. They have their claws in lobbyists. They're everywhere. And it explains the relationship of changing the seeds in the middle of the country with all the farming that we did, how it spreads, we have no control of it, right? And that now it's being found in our food. And strangely, it really does. All those rats, a little bit longer, if you waited just a little longer and tested them, they'd all have some type of cancerous issue. Food Inc., another eye-opener that has very much to do with organic and non-GMO, and just how food is a corporation. And they're not looking, just because it says natural, it doesn't mean they're looking out for you. They are looking out for the bottom line, and they are looking out to find out how long their food can sit on a shelf so that they don't have to make more. And that's the stuff that we should not be eating. The World According to Monsanto. There are so many books, so many documentaries, so much research. Monsanto is up there, kind of becoming the puppets of everything. And so I wanted to kind of bring this up because you can simply do this. Get a bottle, right? A pressurized bottle would be the best. And then you literally put vinegar, soap, and salt in there. You got the prices here. I looked it up and I was like, okay, let's just see. Now, if you go on Amazon, they actually make spray bottles that look like the Roundup bottles with vinegar in it. Because apparently this stuff works, right? So companies have actually made their own combinations of this vinegar combination here that would do the same thing as killing your weeds, that would not be putting all sorts of chemicals into our lawn, our gardens, our vegetable gardens. So I wanted to just bring up some of this, and I'm going to post some of the links to some of the books and documentaries. I highly suggest GMO OMG. It is a quick movie, but it is an eye-opener. If you know nothing about GMOs, this will wake you up, because and it's also I think, like I said, 14, 16 years old. But it's still the way it is. So I hope that you have a great Tuesday. I hope that you get the ingredients to help our planet and help us eat better and live better. And, you know, like I said, when I see the Scott's truck pull up and they mask up and they walk around and they spray, and then they put those little sticks in the ground and to warn everybody, you know, what is that? You know, and there is definitely a better way. So I think it's our job to find that way, because we vote with our wallets. We make the decision when we press buy that now, right? And so, you know, I kind of bring this up because one of my clients showed me all the makings for a garden, right? And the soil, the this and that. And I was like, oh goodness, there's Miracle-Gro on there. And so, you know, it started the conversation with me and her. And, you know, everybody makes their own decisions. But if you haven't heard of Monsanto, if you haven't thought of watching or reading one of these books, you might want to, because it is our health that we're talking about. And we have to be aware of that. So I hope you have a great day, and I will chat with you tomorrow. Bye.